let's take a look at the process of graphing a line from the slope-intercept form for the equation of the line. So the process basically has two parts. First, we can identify a point on the line. The y-intercept is given by the value at the end here, and so we know the line is going to cross the y-axis at 7. And then from the slope, I can identify some other points. So the second step in the process is to identify the slope, which is -4 in this case, and that tells me that if I go to the right 1 unit, I want to go down 4 units. So coming down from 7, we're going to end up at 3. So 1, +3, +1, comma, +3 is going to be a second point on the line. And then, we could find a third point by going over 1 more unit. That'll take us down another 4 units, and so we end up at 2, -1. And I could connect those 3 points with a line. Hopefully I did a good enough job. If I wanted to identify some additional points, I could go backwards. So if I go to the left 1 unit, then another point on the line would be up here at -1, 11. Because if I go to the left 1 unit, I'd want to go up 4 to continue that negative slope. So you may want to pause the video for a moment and try this second example. Again, it's a linear equation, but it's using this function notation. So f of x is really just representing the y values, where f represents the name of the function and x is the input variable. But we can graph in pretty much the same way. Again, you might want to pause the video for a moment and create a graph on your own, and then I'll show the answer in just a moment. So doing the two-step process, I can identify the y-intercept as -1. 0, -1 is going to be a point on the graph. And now the slope is 2/3. So this time with a slope of 2/3, I'm going to go over 3 units, because 3 represents the change in x that corresponds to a change in y of 2 units. So if I go 3 units to the right, that's going to send me 2 units up, so I get from -1 to 0, and then from 0 to +1 would be a second point on the line. And then continuing, I could go over another 3 units to +6 as my x value, and then from 1, going up 2 units, I would get to 3. So 3, 6 would be another point on the line. And we could go to the left for at least 1 or 2 points. Going over to the left 3 units and down 2 would take me down to -3, -3. And so our line would pass through those 4 points. Again, any 2 points will be on a line. Any 2 points create a line. So it's a good idea when you're graphing to graph at least 3 or 4 points to have a way to check and make sure that your line makes sense. So the next 2 examples are a little bit different. This first one we have to be a little careful. It says g of x equals -6. Again, this is another example of function notation. So this is really the same as y equals -6. So what this is describing is actually a horizontal line with a height of -6. So to create a quick sketch of that, we can simply plot a horizontal line that has a height below the x-axis, down here at -6. And then in a similar way, if we do just have x, right, this doesn't have the name of the function attached, so this is just an x. This represents a vertical line. So to plot that, we end up with a vertical line at 3/2. So if this is 1 and this is 2, 3/2 is going to be halfway in between, and so I get a line that goes straight up and down, where every x coordinate is 3/2. So I'm going to look at one more example. This time we're given an equation in standard form and asked to use the intercepts to create a graph of the line. And so to find the intercepts, I know that the y-intercept is going to occur when x equals 0. And so if I plug in 0 for x, I end up with negative 4y plus 16 equals 0. So for that to be true, we can solve that and see that y has to be positive 4. So the idea of plotting using intercepts is, sometimes it's pretty easy to find the two intercepts. And so one of the intercepts is going to be up here at 0, positive 4. The other one, the x-intercept, is going to occur when y equals 0, right? Because the x-axis has a height of y equal to 0. So I can plug in 0 for y, and then we get the equation 4x plus 16 equals 0. And now in that case, x has to be negative 4. So the second intercept, the x-intercept, is going to be to the left of the y-axis at negative 4. And so our line is going to go through those 2 points. And this is kind of one situation where maybe it's not absolutely necessary to find a third point on the line. But we could try to do that to check our work. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.